I couldn't find bar stool cushions in the size or style I wanted, so I decided to sew them myself. I wanted them to feel classic, soft, and McGee Co inspired, but I was nervous they were either going to look custom or very homemade. Here is what I was starting with. The fabric I chose and the inspiration. These stools always felt like they were missing something, but every cushion I found was either the wrong size, the wrong fabric, or didn't feel like the style I wanted for our home. I started with 3 2-inch in thickness 14 by 14 polyfoam squares, and because of the inspiration, I went ahead and cut out the corners of the polyfoam. Now wrapping the polyfoam with batting to make them more fluffy. I'm measuring out my 3 yards of fabric that I folded to make a 16 by 16 square to give myself extra fabric to sew all the sides. I measured out 2 other squares as well. In my leftover fabric, I cut out 12 2-inch folded pieces for the straps. Taking one strap, I am ironing a folded side to help me sew it better so the ends are not frayed. I used a strap I had made before so that I can get the correct length for the folded edge. Once I sew the edge down, I do a reverse stitch just to reinforce the seams. I am ironing both sides so they are going inward and sewing it down. After sewing both sides, I am then going to fold it again on itself and sew it down to make them look like straps and to strengthen them. This is where I started wondering if the ties were going to look good or like a craft project. But in the end, it looked better than what I thought. I do the same process until I have 12 of them. I am going to now sew 3 of the sides on the fabric that is inside out and making sure to sew them where the lines are going horizontally on the chairs, not vertically. Making sure that throughout I am doing a reverse stitch every so often again to reinforce the seams. Adding a sewn edge, so again there is no fraying when I sew the 2 sides together so that it looks like this. Cutting the corner of the fabric the same way that the foam is and sewing the edge again. Taking 2 of the straps and in the corners, I am going to sew them on the inside. Now taking my insert, folding it and placing it inside to flatten it out. Taking the same string, I am going to sew by hand to close the cushion. Until it looks like this. With the dimples, I didn't want them too pronounced, so having measured out that they are all the same width from each other, I looped thread multiple times in my needle and did a small stitch that I pulled it through only lightly because I am not using a button, so I needed a way to make the dimple without the button. And this way I made the look I was going for. Once I put the first one on, I could finally see the vision coming together. It's such a small detail, but it made the kitchen feel softer, warmer, and more intentional. I think that's what I love about creating a home slowly. Sometimes it isn't a huge renovation, sometimes it's one small detail that finally makes a space feel like yours.